how to promote your local business. So even in 2024, I'm seeing these common pitfalls that local businesses are doing. And the expectation is pretty high in terms of understanding how everything works online, but it really is simple because it's almost set it and forget it. If you put these systems in place, you're going to get a lot of value out of it. So I'll give you a couple examples. So I had a client reach out to me from Toronto. They're a painter. They reached out to me on Instagram, and they don't even have a website, okay? They have a Facebook page, which is pretty common. They have an Instagram page, and that's it. They're generating enough business to where they've grown to a point where they want to reach out to Zima Media and hire us to get them to the next level. Well, you can't get to the next level without a website, right? And I have another client that reached out to me that's in a later stage of development. They have a website, they have a Google My Business, also from Toronto, doing window washing. And they want to take it even further, right? So they reached out to Zima Media for help, but they're at a stage to where they're getting, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month in marketing budget, and they want to allocate that and get a return. And that's a good budget to get a 2, 3, 4x return in a year of running marketing and ads. So what I'm going to advise a lot of businesses is the same. It doesn't really change. And a good case study is my brother-in-law. I'm helping him with his HVAC business in Chicago. And he hasn't had a website for a while, right? My other brother-in-law actually built this website 10 years ago, and it disappeared. It fell off the face of the earth. So when I was at his house in May, I'm like, hey, listen, let me just set something up. I threw something up, and he's getting like 100 people a month just visiting his website from just his organic reach, which is pretty wild, right? So people are out there right now looking for your business, and they can't find you online. They find your Instagram page and this and that. Okay, that's fine. But sort of trust can be built by having a website, because if you can put together a website, then obviously you have a little bit more of a track record, because an Instagram page of a bunch of followers, that might work for some customers, but really you want to cover all the bases, and that's what I'm going to advise you on this. So make sure you build a website, and I would recommend going with WordPress. WordPress is very lean, it's inexpensive, the infrastructure can be very cost effective, and that's something I could help you with. Anybody can help you with. It's really easy. It's like 1 in 3 websites are WordPress. So it's not something that's difficult to figure out. People have already figured this out, so go with a WordPress. Now, using my brother-in-law as the case study again, he has a couple of reviews on Angie's, but he's busy, right? He's got a small operation, but a lot of clients, and he services all of them. And I'm just sitting there in the living room, and he's just getting phone call after phone call after phone call, text message after text message, like no joke, seriously, because starting in May, the air conditionings are not working, or starting in the winter, the heaters are not working. So he has a constant stream of business, because those are relationship driven businesses. They're going to really give you a ton of value, because if you build the right relationships, it's just going to start to magnify how much lifetime value you're going to get out of one customer. Do you know how much one customer is worth to your business? What's the lifetime value of a customer to your business? If you can get those magic numbers that run your business, you can project the actual, direction you're going to. If you're going to go way above the mark, right? Like, what's your moonshot? Do you want a 10x? Do you want a 100x? Well, if you have these magic numbers, you can do that. So it's really important to go in to your Google My Business, make sure it's set up, make sure it has the right business information, make sure that's plugged into your WordPress website, because at the end of the day, there's some automation here. If you're earning reviews from Google, you can plug that into your website. And it's pretty awesome, because it automatically is going to plug those WordPress reviews in there, and it's just going to start feeding your website, and it gives you more credibility, more trust. And I want you to make sure you have it. Log into the same Gmail you have under your Google Ads account or your Google Analytics account. They all have to have access to the same accounts. So you need to centralize it. If it's there, beautiful. Plug it into your website. If it's not, make sure you're going to take the next steps to optimize it and set it up. It's really easy. It takes a couple of weeks to wait for the postcard, and that's it. Now, what's happening in 2024 is tracking and conversions, right? Most businesses, I would say, are losing between 1 and 3 website visitors. And what does that mean? They're not disappearing, they're not leaving your website. You're losing them because you can't report on them in your marketing and sales data because they opt out of cookies, right? This is a new frontier that we're working on, and this is where we spend a lot of our time to improve the quality of data that we can give our customers. But what you still need to do is make sure you have tracking set up. And tracking would come along with your contact form or your phone tracking software or whatever you're using to capture your leads, because you don't want to be sitting in an office filling out a spreadsheet with all your customer data every single time and then keeping it in 3 or 4 places out of sync with each other. No, you can automate this, right? You have a contact form. You want to make sure it's being tracked and sent to Google, Facebook, Bing, whatever's driving the revenue for your business as a professional service provider. And also plug that into a Google Sheet, right? A lot of businesses we talk to, they don't have a CRM, right? They get a HubSpot because it's free. Everything goes in there, but you got to pay $2,000 a month to really leverage HubSpot. So it doesn't make sense as a CRM long term. Really, it's just a notebook of all of your customers. And if you can automate that into Google Sheets, if you can start going in there and plugging in metrics such as lifetime value, what it costs you to acquire them, from what marketing they came from, whether it was from a Facebook post or whether it was from a Google ad, those are all important metrics that you can start setting up. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to start with plugging in your leads into a system such as a Google Sheet to make sure you have a running list. So why is that important? Well, once you start building a CRM, you have a sales process in place, okay? This is something you can pass off to a partner, your significant other, and start to really grow your business and ramp it up. Because I know if you're a blue collar worker, you're in the field working and you're not doing data entry. And again, this is another opportunity to automate your marketing and sales funnels, automate these systems so you're capturing data, because at some point in your career, you're gonna have to step away from your business. You're going to have to take some time off for personal reasons, for medical reasons, God forbid. And those are all different touch points that can impact any business. And it can also impact your relationship with some of your vendors and your customers. But at the end of the day, if you have a list inside of your Google Sheets, you can hit all of your former customers, easily find it, and start the conversation up. Oh, hey, like I'm picking things back up. We work together. Do you need anything? Oh, hey, I'm picking things back up. Do you have any sort of referrals? This and this and this and this, and take it from there. Because a lot of the time when things are good, you're focused on your customer, always. But when things are bad, you're scrambling to get business. Don't be in a position where you're scrambling. Get yourself to a position of safety right now by building out your CRM, or at least taking your systems in 4 or 5 different places, I know you know what I mean, and putting it into one place and trying to automate it. Again, those are simple things that can be done cost effectively without having to pay for another tool that you think is a good idea. Paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for a tool is not going to get you more results if you can't get the leads, right? Pay for the leads, pay for the marketing, pay for the ads. The tools, those are a byproduct. And it's a byproduct of you get so busy, you start hiring staff, that's when you need the tools. But if your sales funnel is just like 1 or 2 people, you don't have to worry about it too much. So there's going to be a lot happening with these cookies, but it's going to transform over time. Now, finally, get a professional to help you with a lot of these pieces, such as Zima Media. Whether it is automating some of your sales processes, you can use Zapier, you can do that yourself. If you don't have time to figure it out, we can probably automate half your business in like 8 hours. Seriously, there's a lot of things we all use. It's consistent, and the way we get information from one system to another is the same, right? It's getting to a point where a lot of this is going to be copy and paste. That's how quickly systems are coming together. But if you're not collecting that data, if you're not preserving it, if you're not saving it, or at least have enough tangible information on how it works, well, it's difficult for you to at least train somebody on the system and pass it off. You don't have to know everything about the digital marketing side of things, but you do have to understand what you're receiving. A lot of that is going to be analytics or data or information, and you have to understand where you're receiving it, and then you slowly start to formulate strategies, okay? This all happens in time, and absolutely, it's difficult. But just like any other professional service provider, blue collar job, yeah, you have a difficult job, but at the end of it, you get the reward, the satisfaction that you've completed this job. So really stay vigilant on your business. And to recap, make sure you have your website, okay? Make sure you are connected to Google. You have your Google Analytics, your Google My Business, all of that. You need to have that in place, dialed in, working for you. Make your analytics and data work for you. Have some sort of tracking solution in place to track your leads and your conversions. And also, you need to start looking at your CRM. Your CRM can be a simple Google Sheet, but you're going to have to implement something today, not tomorrow. If you're thinking about it, if you're hunting for information, go and do it right now after watching this video. Just close it, figure out how to do Zapier, how to connect your contact form, and how to get it in a Google Sheet. You can do it this afternoon. And then also lean on a professional, whether it's somebody you know personally, whether it's somebody you've worked with in the past, or if you're looking for somebody, always try to reach out to the professionals that make the best sense for your business. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.